Welcome back to Who Died Today USA channel. In the past few days, we have received somber news about the passing of extraordinary talents. Today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Additionally, we will recap the stars we have recently lost. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you.
That's the way love goes.
Johnny Rodriguez, one of country music's most groundbreaking voices, has passed away at the age of 73. More than just a singer, he was a pioneer, the first widely recognized Mexican-American artist to rise to the top of the country charts, breaking barriers with heart, grit, and undeniable talent. Born in Sabinal, Texas, Johnny's early years were marked by hardship. After losing his father and brother as a teenager, he turned to music for solace. A guitar gifted by his older brother became his closest companion. While spending time in jail at 18 for a minor offense, Johnny's voice caught the ear of a Texas Ranger. That moment changed his life. By 21, he had arrived in Nashville with little more than a guitar and $14 in his pocket. His rise was meteoric. Hits like "You Always Come Back" to "Hurting Me," "Riding My Thumb to Mexico," and "That's the Way Love Goes" dominated the airwaves in the 1970s, and his debut album shot to #1. With 6 #1 songs and 35 albums over 4 decades, Johnny carved a place not just on the charts, but in the hearts of listeners across generations. Though he faced challenges, including legal battles and personal sorrow, Johnny remained resilient. He sang from a place of truth, often reflecting the sorrow and beauty of life through lyrics that felt like lived experience. Johnny Rodriguez passed away on May 9, 2025. The cause was not publicly disclosed. His daughter, Aubrey, shared the news, calling him an irreplaceable soul whose music and warmth shaped all who knew him. His legacy, a bridge between cultures, a voice for the unheard, and a reminder that music at its best tells the story of who we are. Nathaniel "Nate" Pelier was the kind of man who made the world around him warmer, quieter, and more grounded, both on camera and off. Known to fans of When Calls the Heart as the ever-reliable taxi driver, Nate brought presence and sincerity to every scene he graced. But his real magic was found behind the scenes, where he worked tirelessly in the show's transportation department, building not only sets and props, but friendships and trust. Nate passed away suddenly on April 11, 2025, at his home in Langley, British Columbia. He was 53. His colleagues describe him as all heart, a constant source of calm during long filming days, a man who smashed every 14-hour day with a wide smile and endless cheer. Whether helping set up a bike for a co-worker's children or engineering an awning in the woods near set, Nate brought care and craftsmanship to everything he touched. His handwriting filled poems, his kitchen filled with cookies and bars he loved to bake, and his home was always open. His hugs sometimes offered from the balcony rail. But above all, Nate was a devoted father to his daughter, Mercedes. He took joy in giving her concert tickets, planning trips, and sharing his deep love of music. That bond was his proudest achievement. In a world that often values flash over heart, Nate was a rare presence, humble, steady, and deeply loved. The set of When Calls the Heart will carry on. But as one castmate shared, the valley will not be the same without him. Nate's spirit lives on in every kind word, every helping hand, and every quiet act of generosity.
You don't have a Wonder Woman action figure, do you?
It's not how it works. Come on.
Breaking news: from rock bottom to global icon, the unbreakable rise of Dwayne Johnson. What does it take to go from $7 in your pocket to becoming one of the most powerful and beloved figures in global entertainment? In the case of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, It is a story of raw ambition, deep emotional valleys, iron discipline, and a level of heart that few ever witness behind the spotlight. Today, we are going to explore the extraordinary path of a man who turned personal setbacks into superhuman strength, and who, even after scaling the highest peaks of Hollywood, continues to climb with humility and purpose. Born on May 2, 1972, in Hayward, California, Dwayne Douglas Johnson was destined for challenges long before he dreamed of stardom. His father, Rocky Johnson, was a trailblazing black wrestler in the 1980s, and his grandfather, Peter Maivia, was a Samoan wrestling legend. That legacy brought both inspiration and pressure, but also a front-row seat to the highs and lows of fame. By the time he was a teenager, Johnson's life had already seen more turbulence than most experience in a lifetime. His family moved often, he got into trouble with the law, and financial instability was a constant shadow. One of the most pivotal moments of his youth came when, at just 15 years old, he watched his mother attempt something unthinkable, a memory that remains a deep emotional scar, and one he has bravely spoken about to shed light on mental health. Football became his sanctuary. At the University of Miami, he played on a national championship-winning team and seemed poised for a promising NFL career. But fate had different plans. A series of injuries shattered his dreams, and when he was cut from the CFL's Calgary Stampeders, he found himself broke, depressed, and living in his parents' small apartment in Florida. That was when he made a decision that would change everything. He turned to wrestling. With just $7 to his name, Johnson entered WWE with fire in his veins. But his early days as Rocky Maivia were met with relentless boos from fans. Instead of folding, he leaned in, reinventing himself as The Rock, a larger-than-life heel with unmatched charisma. The result? One of the most successful wrestling careers of all time. The Rock became a pop culture sensation, beloved for his electrifying promos, sharp wit, and larger-than-life presence. But Johnson's ambitions stretched beyond the squared circle. In the early 2000s, he made the leap into Hollywood and met yet another wall of doubt. Critics questioned whether a wrestler could ever be taken seriously as an actor. His first few roles, including The Mummy Returns and The Scorpion King, were seen as tests, but he refused to be typecast. He fired his agents, restructured his image, and committed to being more than just brawn. Over the next decade, Johnson built a film career brick by brick. His roles in the Fast and Furious series catapulted him into blockbuster territory, while Jumanji, San Andreas, and Moana cemented his reputation as a bankable, versatile, and family-friendly star. He brought vulnerability to action roles, humor to intense storylines, and always, an immense work ethic. But even at the height of fame, Johnson never hid from his past. He revealed that he battled multiple episodes of depression throughout his life. After losing football, during his divorce from Dany Garcia in 2008, and even in the midst of success. His openness about mental health inspired millions, especially men who had never seen vulnerability paired with such strength. Physically, Johnson is one of the most disciplined people in the world. His 4 a.m. workouts, carefully designed meal plans, and relentless preparation are legendary. Yet even his body has limits. Years of wrestling took a toll, torn muscles, surgeries, joint issues. Still, he presses forward with the mindset that the body is a temple and movement is medicine. In 2024, Johnson took on one of his most demanding roles yet, portraying MMA fighter Mark Kerr in The Smashing Machine. To honor the physical and emotional weight of Kerr's story, Johnson shed over 60 pounds, embracing vulnerability not just emotionally, but physically. It was one of the most extreme transformations of his career, a testament to his devotion to storytelling over ego. Beyond the screen, Johnson has become a business mogul. From launching Terramana Tequila and Zoe Energy to founding his own production company, $7 Bucks, He has turned personal values into global brands. He does not just sell products, he sells belief. Belief in consistency, in gratitude, in family. And speaking of family, that is the core of everything for Johnson. He is the proud father of 3 daughters and constantly shares glimpses of his life as a girl dad. Whether dressing up for tea parties or posting heartfelt birthday tributes, his role as a father reveals a softer, deeply grounded side of the global icon. Not all moments have been smooth. His very public feud with Fast and Furious co-star Vin Diesel led to a temporary exit from the franchise. His surprising return in Fast X came only after a reconciliation, one that showed growth, maturity, and mutual respect. In wrestling, his 2024 return to WWE as a villain at WrestleMania 40 shocked some fans, but reminded others of his deep love for performance. He once teased a run for the US presidency, a suggestion that sparked massive public interest. While he eventually stepped back from political speculation to focus on family, the moment illustrated just how far-reaching his influence is. So where is Dwayne Johnson now? He is everywhere, in theaters, in gyms, on social media, and in the hearts of millions. But more importantly, he is rooted, grounded in gratitude, still rising, still learning, and still driven not just by success, but by service. Dwayne Johnson's life is more than a highlight reel. It is a journey through rejection, reinvention, and relentless perseverance. It is about turning pain into power and setbacks into stepping stones. He is not just The Rock. He is a symbol of what it means to never give up on yourself. What part of his journey inspires you most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you believe in second chances, discipline, and the kind of strength that begins inside, like this video, and subscribe for more stories of icons who inspire. Because some stars shine, others rise. But Dwayne Johnson? He does both, and he lifts others with him along the way.
He's got the hands I love to touch.
Johnny Tillotson, the velvet-voiced crooner who captured hearts in the early 1960s with his tender ballads and gentle spirit, has left behind a legacy rich in melody and warmth. Known for timeless hits like Poetry in Motion and It Keeps Right on A Hurtin', Tillotson became a symbol of sincerity and grace in a fast-changing musical era. Born in Jacksonville, Florida, Johnny began performing as a teenager and quickly found his calling. While studying journalism at the University of Florida, a local DJ sent his demo to a national talent contest, an act that would change his life. It led to a record deal with Cadence Records and the beginning of a remarkable career. With a voice full of heartache and hope, Tillotson's music spoke to millions. Poetry in Motion climbed to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, while It Keeps Right on A Hurtin' earned him a Grammy nomination and later covers by icons like Elvis Presley and Dean Martin. His songs, melodic, honest, and quietly powerful, helped define an era of heartfelt pop. In his later years, Johnny faced the challenges of Parkinsonism with quiet resilience. Even as his health declined, his love for music never dimmed. Just days before his passing, he released a new song, Everything I Touch Turns to Blue, a final gift to the fans he cherished so deeply. For those who grew up with his voice on the radio, Johnny Tillotson was more than a singer. He was a companion through life's joys and sorrows. And though he is no longer with us, his songs remain, echoing softly through time.
Help you, and he said, "It's all right, it'll come to me in a minute."
Dame Maggie Smith, the legendary British actress whose presence graced both stage and screen for over 7 decades, passed away on September 27, 2024, at the age of 89, following health complications later in life. Revered for her sharp wit, commanding performances, and extraordinary range, she became a cherished figure to generations of audiences across the globe. Born Margaret Natalie Smith in Ilford, England in 1934, she began her acting journey as a teenager in Oxford. From her early days with the National Theatre under Laurence Olivier's direction, to her first Oscar win for the prime of Miss Jean Brodie in 1970, Maggie's artistry was evident from the start. Her second Academy Award came in 1979 for California Suite, and her career flourished with unforgettable turns in A Room with a View, Gosford Park, The Lady in the Van, and the Best Exotic Marigold Hotel. Yet for many, her most iconic roles came later in life, as the indomitable Professor McGonagall in the Harry Potter films, and the unforgettable Violet Crawley in Downton Abbey, a part that brought her newfound global fame in her 70s. Even while quietly managing health challenges such as Graves' disease and breast cancer, Maggie remained radiant on screen, bringing strength and subtlety to every performance. Behind the scenes, she was deeply private and refreshingly modest. "I'm always relieved to be somebody else," she once said, revealing the humility behind the legend. Her legacy is not just one of accolades, but of enduring brilliance, humor, and heart. Maggie Smith reminded the world that true greatness needs no spotlight, it simply endures.
She gave up painting. She copped out, she went for something less.
Our next tribute is for a comedy icon whose quiet brilliance left an everlasting mark on American television and hearts across generations. We are talking about Bob Newhart, the soft-spoken master of deadpan delivery who made America laugh with a simple stammer, a thoughtful pause, and a twinkle in his eye. Bob Newhart passed away on July 18, 2024, at the age of 94, following a series of short illnesses. For over 6 decades, he brought warmth, wit, and subtle genius to comedy, proving that humor did not need to shout to be heard. Born in Oak Park, Illinois, Bob began his professional life as an accountant. But one homemade comedy tape changed everything. That recording became The Button-Down Mind of Bob Newhart, a groundbreaking album that topped the charts in 1960 and won 3 Grammys, including Album of the Year. Suddenly, a humble man from the Midwest was sharing stages with legends and charming millions. He went on to star in 2 of television's most beloved sitcoms, The Bob Newhart Show and Newhart. With each role, he played the relatable everyman, confused, patient, endearing, often surrounded by chaos, always the calm center of the storm. And in one of the most unforgettable TV finales ever, he reminded viewers just how clever and timeless his comedy could be. Late in life, Bob earned his first Emmy for The Big Bang Theory, proving his talent transcended generations. Behind the scenes, he was devoted to his family and beloved wife of 60 years, Ginny, whose idea helped craft his most iconic TV moment. Bob Newhart never needed to raise his voice to be heard. His gentle humor echoed louder than most. What are your favorite memories of him? Tell us below, and let us remember a man who made the world laugh simply by being himself.
You haven't got enough money to buy my daughter off. Nonsense.
Joffrey, apologize to Mr. McDowell.
I will do.
John Amos, a towering figure of American television and stage, passed away on August 21, 2024, in Los Angeles at the age of 84, following a period of declining health. With a presence both commanding and compassionate, he became a beloved symbol of strength, dignity, and fatherhood for generations of viewers. Born on December 27, 1939, in Newark, New Jersey, Amos began his career not in show business, but as an athlete. He played football at Colorado State University and briefly joined the NFL before injuries redirected his path toward the arts. His early writing and stand-up comedy work soon led him to television, where his breakout role as Gordy the Weatherman on The Mary Tyler Moore Show made him a household name. but it was his portrayal of James Evans Sr. on Good Times, television's first two-parent black family sitcom, that forever etched his image into the hearts of American audiences. As a stern yet loving father, Amos offered a rare depiction of black manhood marked by responsibility, integrity, and care. Later, in the landmark miniseries Roots, he gave a powerful Emmy-nominated performance as the older Kunta Kinte, helping the country confront the legacy of slavery through one of the most watched shows in TV history. Amos's career extended across 5 decades, from dramatic roles in The West Wing to comedic turns in Coming to America and 30 Rock. Off-screen, he championed youth education through his Halley's Comet Foundation and worked on a documentary with his son titled America's Dad. Resilient in both his career and his convictions, John Amos leaves behind a legacy that transcends screens, one of cultural change, artistic excellence, and heartfelt humanity.
We had a drink, we had a smoke, she took off her overcoat.
Jill Sabule was a fearless and witty American singer-songwriter whose music blended sharp social commentary with vulnerability and heart. Born on September 16, 1959 in Denver, Colorado, she was best known for her 1995 breakthrough hit, I Kissed a Girl, a landmark moment in pop music that brought stories of identity and self-discovery to the mainstream with honesty and humor. That same year, her song Supermodel became an anthem for a new generation thanks to its inclusion in the beloved film Clueless. Jill's career was never about chasing the spotlight. It was about telling the truth. Across 3 decades, she remained a vital voice in both music and activism, whether performing solo or collaborating under the playful name Sugar Tits. Her songs tackled politics, adolescence, queerness, and growing up with grace and sharp wit. Her musical memoir, FK 7th Grade, was both poignant and wildly inventive, capturing the ache and hilarity of coming of age. Despite personal health challenges, including chronic back pain, Jill continued to perform and write until the very end. Tragically, she passed away on May 1, 2025, at the age of 65, in a house fire while staying with friends in Woodbury, Minnesota. Authorities are still investigating the cause, but it is believed her medical condition may have hindered her ability to escape. Sabule's passing leaves a space in the world that only her voice could fill. Her songs were laced with humor, empathy, and a deep understanding of the human experience. To fans young and old, Jill was more than a musician. She was a truth-teller, a trailblazer, and a bright, rebellious spirit whose legacy will continue to sing long after the music fades. Jiggly Caliente, born Bianca Castro Arabejo on November 29, 1980, in San Pedro, Philippines, was more than a beloved performer. She was a voice for the underrepresented, a symbol of resilience, and a beacon of joy within the LGBTQ+ and drag communities. She passed away on April 27, 2025, at the age of 44, following complications from a severe infection that led to a leg amputation. Her loss is deeply felt by fans around the world. Jiggly first rose to prominence on Season 4 of RuPaul's Drag Race, where her quick wit, magnetic personality, and unforgettable performances made her an instant fan favorite. She later returned for All-Stars 6 and made history in 2022 by becoming a permanent judge on Drag Race Philippines, proudly representing her heritage and identity on the global stage. With her unapologetic authenticity, she broke barriers and inspired countless others to embrace their true selves. In addition to her television career, Jiggly appeared on the critically acclaimed series Pose, portraying Veronica Ferocity, a role that deepened her connection with fans who saw in her a reflection of strength and vulnerability. Her journey as a transgender woman, openly shared with love and courage, resonated deeply, especially among young people seeking affirmation. Despite her health challenges, Jiggly never stopped creating, performing, and advocating. Her humor, heart, and infectious energy lit up every room she entered. She reminded us that being fabulous is not just about glamour, but about heart, integrity, and the power of being seen. Jiggly Caliente's life was a celebration of identity, artistry, and love, and her legacy will continue to uplift generations to come.
I'm not going to sleep with you, and my wife wouldn't stand for it no matter what you offered.
I don't know. She might find it interesting.
Laur Park Lincoln was a talented American actress and beloved acting mentor, born in 1961 in Dallas, Texas. Over a 45-year career, she graced both the screen and the stage with warmth, versatility, and emotional depth that resonated deeply with audiences. She rose to fame as Tina Shepard in Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood, 1988, where her portrayal of a vulnerable yet powerful young woman facing down the infamous Jason Voorhees made her a standout in the horror genre. Equally memorable was her turn as Linda Fairgate on the long-running soap opera Knots Landing, where her character's blend of sweetness and scheming charm captured the complexities of human nature. Beyond acting, Laur became a passionate advocate for aspiring performers. In Dallas, she founded Actors Audition Studios, where she mentored hundreds of young talents. Her book, Get Started Not Scammed, became a trusted guide for newcomers navigating the challenges of the entertainment industry. Laur's journey was also one of resilience. She faced personal trials, including the loss of her husband Michael in 2015 and her own battle with breast cancer. Through it all, she continued to teach, perform, and uplift others with grace and strength. She passed away on April 22, 2025, at the age of 63. Though a cause of death was not publicly confirmed, her family shared that she had previously overcome serious health challenges with courage and dignity. Laur Park Lincoln's legacy lives on in the hearts of her students, fans, and family. She was more than an actress. She was a guiding light whose generosity, humor, and spirit will not be forgotten.
What am I to do? Cut out the liver and the heart. Maybe we got a chance this way. Hurry, boy!
Claude Gar Jr. was a beloved American actor whose gentle spirit and remarkable screen presence left a lasting imprint on classic cinema. Born in Nashville in 1934, he was just 10 years old when fate intervened. Director Clarence Brown spotted him in a fifth-grade classroom, casting him in The Yearling, 1946. As Jody Baxter, the wide-eyed boy who forms a tender bond with an orphaned fawn, Jarman captured hearts across the nation and was honored with a Juvenile Academy Award, presented by Shirley Temple herself. For a few precious years, Jarman lived what many could only dream, attending school on the MGM lot alongside Elizabeth Taylor, appearing in films like Intruder in the Dust, Rio Grande, and High Barbary, and working with greats like John Wayne and Gregory Peck. But unlike many young stars, he chose a different path, returning to Nashville to finish high school and later graduating from Vanderbilt University. Throughout his life, Jarman remained closely tied to the world of film. He directed the San Francisco International Film Festival for 15 years, nurturing a love of cinema from behind the scenes. In 2018, he published his memoir, My Life and the Final Days of Hollywood, offering a rare, reflective look at a vanishing era. Claude Gar Jr. passed away peacefully in his sleep on January 12, 2025, at the age of 90, in Marin County, California. According to his family, the cause was natural. He is survived by his loving wife, Katie, 7 children, and 8 grandchildren. Though his time in front of the camera was brief, his impact was timeless. For many, Claude Gar Jr. will forever be remembered as the boy with the fawn and the man who lived with grace beyond the spotlight.
couple of adverts. I did the Rimmel commercial with Kate Moss. Then I went into Celebrity Love Island. Actually, the Rimmel commercial.
Paul Dano was a British actor whose life and work reflected both the excitement and intensity of the entertainment world. Born in 1978, Dano rose to fame in the late 1990s as Saul Patrick on the beloved British soap Hollyoaks, where he quickly became a fan favorite for his emotional depth and charisma. With his striking screen presence, he transitioned into reality television, appearing on Celebrity Love Island and Celebrity Big Brother, where his openness and unpredictability made him unforgettable to audiences on both sides of the Atlantic. Throughout his career, Dano faced immense personal and health-related challenges. He often spoke candidly about his struggles, never hiding from the truth of his journey. His honesty became a hallmark of his public persona, and it made him relatable to many who quietly faced similar battles. In June 2024, Dano was hospitalized for respiratory complications. Less than a year later, on January 15, 2025, he passed away at the age of 46 at his home in Bristol, England. The official cause was attributed to complications from a toxic reaction involving multiple substances. Despite his personal difficulties, those closest to him described Paul as a kind, generous spirit, always looking to make others laugh, even in the darkest moments. His management remembered him as a beacon of light, and many fans continue to cherish his performances and his willingness to be vulnerable in public. Paul Dano's life was one of talent, turbulence, and truth. He remains an enduring figure in British pop culture, remembered not just for the roles he played, but for the courage he showed in facing life's storms with heart and humanity.
Well, that's what you always told me I was good at, right?
I also told you, most likely,
Charlie Scalise was a beloved American character actor whose warmth, grit, and unmistakable authenticity left a lasting mark on television and film. Born on July 19, 1940 in South Philadelphia, he grew up above his father's pool hall, where he first delighted customers with impressions and jokes as a boy. Though he spent much of his early career in the business world, Scalise found his way back to his creative roots later in life, stepping into the spotlight with remarkable grace. He is best remembered for his powerful performance as Thomas Horseface Pacusa in The Wire, where he portrayed a fiercely loyal dock worker in Season 2 of the acclaimed HBO series. Scalise also appeared in The Sopranos as Tony's high school football coach in a poignant dream sequence, delivering one of the show's most memorable monologues. His other credits include roles in 12 Monkeys, Liberty Heights, Law & Order, and Cold Case, among others. Behind the camera, Scalise lived a rich and humble life. He was a devoted husband to Angeline, his wife of 62 years, and a proud father and grandfather. He once said his favorite audience was always seated around the dinner table, a testament to the deep love he had for family. In later years, he also wrote a screenplay inspired by his childhood called It Takes Balls. Charlie Scalise passed away on May 1, 2025, at age 84, after a long and courageous battle with Alzheimer's. Though he came to acting later in life, his legacy is one of timeless sincerity and heart, a man who reminded us that it is never too late to follow your passion. Jeffrey Runnings, the soft-spoken heart behind the influential dream pop band For Against, passed away on March 3, 2025, at the age of 61, following a courageous battle with stage 4 cancer. A native of Omaha, Nebraska, Runnings helped shape the American post-punk and indie music landscape from the heartland, far from the coastal scenes that typically define the genre. Beginning in 1984, For Against became known for their introspective lyrics, shimmering guitar textures, and rhythmic elegance. With Runnings as bassist, lead vocalist, and principal songwriter, the band released acclaimed albums such as Echelons, 1987, December, 1988, and Shelf Life, 1997. Critics often describe their sound as balancing the moody intensity of Joy Division, with the atmospheric grace of kitchens of distinction. Beyond his band's legacy, Runnings was a devoted music lover who never lost the joy of discovery. Friends and collaborators remember him as someone who still mailed mixtapes by cassette in an era of streaming, always eager to share music that moved him. His solo album, Primitives and Smalls, 2016, revealed a more personal, layered sound, while a posthumous release, Peaked, is set to share a final glimpse into his artistic world. Outside of music, Runnings was known for his kind spirit, a deep love of cats, and his work at a local cat cafe in Nebraska. He is survived by his husband, Sean, his brother, Steve, and a loving extended family. Jeffrey Runnings' voice may now be quiet, but it continues to echo in the dreamy chords and thoughtful lyrics he left behind. Music that still drifts like memory through the lives he touched.
Wishes.
They said it before me.
a lot of happy birthdays coming from.
Breaking news. How does a child star from a beloved 1960s sitcom grow up to become one of the most quietly influential directors in Hollywood history? Ron Howard's life has been a remarkable tale of reinvention, determination, and calm resilience. From his earliest days on screen as Opie Taylor to standing behind the camera directing Oscar-winning films, Howard's journey is not only about fame, it is about legacy, family, health, and the power of storytelling to shape generations. Today, we look back on the inspiring life of a man who never needed the loudest voice in the room to make the biggest impact. Ronald William Howard was born on March 1, 1954, in Duncan, Oklahoma, to a family already steeped in show business. His father, Rance Howard, was a character actor and writer. His mother, Jean Spiegel Howard, was an actress with deep roots in the theater. At just 6 years old, Ron became a household name as the endearing son of Sheriff Andy Taylor on The Andy Griffith Show. Audiences across America watched him grow up on screen, and later, in the 1970s, he charmed viewers again as Richie Cunningham in Happy Days. But beneath the charm of his television persona, Howard carried ambitions far beyond sitcoms. While filming Happy Days, he quietly began studying the craft of directing. It was not an easy transition. Many in the industry typecast him as the nice guy actor, skeptical that he could lead a production from behind the camera. But Howard had a vision, and he was determined to see it through. His first major directorial break came with Splash in 1984, a romantic comedy that became a surprise hit and proved he had storytelling instincts beyond comedy. He followed it with Cocoon, 1985, and soon critics took notice. With each project, Howard built a body of work that combined heart, intellect, and craftsmanship. Then came Apollo 13, 1995, a gripping retelling of NASA's fateful space mission. The film earned 9 Academy Award nominations and cemented his place as a serious director. In 2001, Howard reached a new career milestone with A Beautiful Mind. The biographical drama about mathematician John Nash won 4 Oscars, including Best Picture and Best Director. It was a triumph that silenced any remaining doubters and showcased Howard's ability to tackle complex human stories with empathy and depth. But even the most admired careers come with challenges. Howard faced professional setbacks with films like The Dilemma, 2011, and In the Heart of the Sea, 2015, which failed to resonate with audiences. He admitted to moments of self-doubt, but never lost his core belief in the art of storytelling. His resilience would be tested again when he stepped in mid-production to direct Solo, a Star Wars story, 2018, after the original directors were dismissed. Howard handled the chaos with grace, completing the film and guiding it to release, a rare feat in a blockbuster world known for tension and egos. Beyond the soundstage, Howard's life has been shaped by personal challenges as well. During his time on Happy Days, he suffered physical symptoms from extreme stress, including hair loss and eczema, conditions he later linked to internalizing anxiety and not seeking help. His experiences opened his eyes to the quiet battles many in the industry endure, especially those who feel pressure to maintain a cheerful public image. Health and family have always been central to Howard's journey. He has been married to Cheryl Alley since 1975, one of Hollywood's rare, enduring love stories. Together, they raised 4 children, including acclaimed actress and filmmaker Bryce Dallas Howard. Interestingly, Ron initially discouraged his daughter from acting as a child, aware of the pressures fame can bring. When Bryce eventually entered the industry as an adult, she did so with his full support. Howard has also spoken openly about the pain of watching his brother, actor Clint Howard, struggle with addiction. In interviews, he described the fear and helplessness he felt, and how the family rallied together through those difficult times. It was yet another example of Howard's willingness to discuss mental health and resilience in a field that often hides vulnerability. Despite the rare moments of public critique, such as the mixed reception to Hillbilly Elegy 2020, a film seen by some as politically divisive, Howard has remained largely free from scandal. Instead, he has continued to focus on meaningful work, including documentaries like Rebuilding Paradise and Jim Henson, Idea Man, which explore the complexities of real lives with compassion and curiosity. In recent years, Howard has stayed active not only in film, but in uplifting the next generation of creators. His interviews often emphasize humility, teamwork, and the long game of a creative career. He does not chase the spotlight. He builds spaces for others to shine. So, where is Ron Howard now? He is exactly where he has always been, grounded, thoughtful, and creating stories that matter. From the innocence of Opie to the intensity of directing A Beautiful Mind, his journey is one of quiet perseverance and purposeful artistry. He may not deliver flashy headlines, but his impact is undeniable. Have you been moved by a Ron Howard film? What lessons from his journey resonate with your own? Let us know in the comments. And if you believe in the power of calm, steady leadership and stories that touch the heart, like this video, and subscribe for more tributes to Hollywood's most enduring voices. Because Ron Howard shows us that you do not need noise to make a difference. You just need a story worth telling, and the heart to tell it right.